Welcome, Atlanta United family. Sorry, a little too excited just now. Welcome, Atlanta United family, to another episode of Resurge The Spike ATL. Here with James. Are
Let's
you,
go.
the one that never misses?
Co-host. Yeah.
Yeah, the one. Bruh, you've been the co-host since last year. This is
Day
not
one,
even
bro.
like. And our guest for today from apartment 85, John. I'm pretty sure if many of you guys follow this tragic past that has been since what 2020 and end of 2020. I think that's what we no technically end of 2021 when we started doing this. John, he was here with us, towards the beginning of last season. And hey, glad to have you back, John. Obviously, you can follow him on his YouTube channel, Apartment 85. So yep.
Awesome. Thank you, Ariel. What's up, James? What's up, James? Again, how are
Yeah.
you guys? It's
Hey,
good
you're
to be
finally.
back.
Yeah, you're back when we're good, huh?
Yeah, man. That's
I'm,
how it's gonna go down. I will
I'm
I will
playing.
I will take that. No, I know.
Yeah.
It's good to be back though.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty good season so far, if we can say, for Atlanta United. I mean, I think this statement win against Portland at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this weekend was probably, that statement win that, we were just kind of waiting for. And I get it, there was a weaker Portland team. There was a lot of injuries and there was guys that were missing for them. And overall, it's still one of the best teams in MLS. So I mean, props to them. They still came out and gave them, kind of a rough start. I mean, if it wasn't for that goal that technically got called because of VAR, they could have been up 1-0 in the first before the first 10 minutes. So it's tough, for them, but hey, a good win for Atlanta United overall.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the win. I know that we've had our skepticism in the last couple of games. I know after coming off a really bad season last season, we were all thinking negative. Now, and also thinking of how Joseph Martinez had left. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't see any hope for the future. I thought we were gonna be kind of starting off, okay, and then getting into kind of what we got into last season. But so far, no losses yet. We're having honestly great games. I believe are we 3 wins and 1 tie? I believe
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
3 wins and 1 tie. I mean, and then I guess to the 5-1, aggregate. Lord, like not only have we beaten Timbers before, but this is a different team. This is a different animal. So it's good to see Atlanta finally waking up. And I love to see it. So
Mhm.
that's why I came back again. I only come back when they're winning. So, but no, but on a serious note, I think that it's great. I said to myself personally, if I see a 10 game run where we are more positive than negative, then I say, okay, we are a serious team this season. But so far, it's looking to be like we're on track to be the team that we deserve to be, and honestly are. It's just again we've had the hiccups in the last couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's now 2 straight weeks with 2 dominating games, and you come in. We still can't score first at home, although we did, but we technically didn't until the offsides. But yeah, overall, you know, we just got to keep rolling, even though we have guys out, of course, this week. But after a game like that, there's not much to complain.
Yeah, I mean, we could get real picky about it, but I think Guzan. I don't know, man. That goal, I think that he could have done a little bit more, but I mean,
He
that's
was
just the one thing.
blocked. He was blocked.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
don't think
He's always been slow on those, hasn't he? I mean, you know,
Tyrone.
Tyrone.
I feel like it is what it is on those ones because I mean he got basically the goal like Bernadeschi goal. It was just like that. He just got beat to it, and I mean that's tough for any keeper to save. So but
Yeah, but I mean, we still, man, and that's the one thing, and it's, I mean, tough to like kind of point out a specific area where you think that this game were kind of like a little off or anything, because you can't really think of any like clear chances that Portland had, honestly, like throughout the entire game, other than that first one that got called back, obviously. But man, overall, it's pretty good to see. The chemistry, obviously, in the middle. The guys, Franco Ibarra is a guy that we thought last year was just wasn't up there for the task. Another name, also Rosetto. Obviously, he's been injured, but at the beginning, he showed great signs. He was getting forward more. He even scored a goal. I mean, whether it was off of the deflection, I mean, he still got the shot off. I mean, if it's just stuff that you see a little like an extra gear, from everybody overall. I mean, Miles Robinson. I mean, he got called back to the U.S. men's national team. I mean, getting like what
As deserved.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's and even overall, I think the guys that have either been on the bench or have been the starters. They've just been good overall. I mean, there's been times, obviously, you have your bad moments. I mean, you're not going to be perfect, obviously, but I think the performances have shown. I mean, the goals have shown. It's just been a joy to watch, honestly.
Yeah, it's really great to see the team that we all, when we began back in 2017, we saw the atmosphere, we saw the wins, we saw the passion in our players, and not only in our players, but the fans. The whole city of Atlanta went nuts for this team. I remember when they were playing in Kennesaw State. I can't remember the name. I think it's Bob something Dodd. I don't
Bobby
know. I can't.
Dodd, yeah.
Yeah, Dodd Stadium. I mean, I didn't go to it, but I mean, I wanted to. And fortunately, we went to the Mercedes Benz at that point. But nonetheless, like we were hyped, we were ready, and it's starting to feel that way. Fans are coming back, like me and Ariel were talking about, and of course, I'm one of them. So y'all see me there. but but it's good to see that passion again, that love, and that strength within the squad. And honestly, I wasn't a fan of Pineda. I'm pretty sure you guys knew that, but hey, I like being proven wrong, especially when it comes to my team. So man, let's keep on coming. Like let's keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I said it last week. It's just we just look more comfortable on every facet of the game compared to last season. When we set up in defense, it's when the press doesn't work, it doesn't matter. The guys, they still sit in, they're back and they're ready. I mean, we've only conceded one goal. It was, not really much bad on the defense. And then on offense, we're more content with just moving it slowly, getting ready to go, and we capitalized on the transition because we're not going to score a lot of goals in the build-up. That's just normal. I mean, we probably had maybe 2 or 3 that were in build-up last week. The rest are just breaks that you created on yourself. And, when the team's comfortable, they're going to perform to their best. But, it's nice to see.
Tyrone's, I mean, that's one of the points we're going to be hitting over here. And one of the biggest questions, and I mean, 4 games in, and I think a lot not a lot can be said after this game coming up, but that's going to be the true test. But this question, are we back? So far, I mean, like I said, there's really not too much to complain. I mean, even defensively, which
solid.
Miles coming back from an injury, Parada being, more good on offense than defense last year. I mean,
oh man,
honestly,
more goals than Martinez.
Yeah,
hat trick. I remember that one.
Yeah, and to a degree, you're like, I mean, you didn't expect that chemistry to, I mean, even preseason, and to a certain point, obviously, preseason is preseason. You're facing teams that to just, kind of like figure things out. We didn't really do a good preseason, honestly. I mean, we got scored on a lot. And it wasn't obviously against really good teams. James, I know you tweeted it out against that was probably the best opponent we had so far. I think it was Birmingham.
Chattanooga.
Who was it? Chattanooga. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they actually like retweeted it. And that was hilarious, honestly.
Oh yeah. I think now it's what we've conceded 3 goals, right? Yeah, 3 goals, and they scored 3 goals on us in the first half against the same defenders. It's crazy, but I mean, it's the same thing teams haven't really been challenging us. Charlotte challenged us a little bit on the attack, and we did really well. But most of the other teams, it wasn't, much to really look at. And we haven't been crazy attack, just throwing everyone up. But regardless, it looks so much easier. The guys aren't getting caught out. It starts from your fullbacks. They've been very strong defensively, and it's not really forcing Parada to make a tough decision, people getting out of position. It's just easier for everyone.
Who do you think? I mean, is better? I mean, obviously Caleb Wiley is, and something that a stat that was going around Twitter is like he's the second youngest player to score and assist basically in back-to-back games. I mean, in the history of MLS, and that's crazy. I mean, we're not just talking about Atlanta United history. We're talking about like 25 plus years of like this league, and all the teams that have been in it. It's crazy. Sorry, it's crazy the fact that you think that somebody so young, and you see that he still hasn't reached like that, full potential. You know that he still has a lot to develop in, and man, him and Almada they've been carrying honestly so far they've been carrying Atlanta United so far when it comes to like the offensive side of it. Araujo is another one that he probably doesn't get as much credit as Almada does so far, but I mean, I think that he's been pretty great. I mean, in comparison to what he did last year, and I mean, he didn't look like himself. He wasn't like that guy when he first came in 2021. Just taking defenders by storm, and now he seems to be more confident in the decisions that he's making, just a better player, more calm, I think, in the decisions that he takes.
I think to jump on that point on Araujo, and I won't be on him too much. Araujo has definitely, like, I remember at one point he carried us. He carried us when Joseph Martinez really couldn't do much, and where he was just kind of jogging around, of course, due to his injury. But Araujo was carrying us at one point. I remember that. Aside from Moreno and all the other players that unfortunately have gone. But in regards to Wiley, so I've had my thing with Wiley. I've had a buddy of mine, and we really kind of looked at Wiley, and I know he was playing as a defense last year. And man, it just felt like he was never a good fit in Gutman's spot, because when I saw Gutman play, I was like, oh my God, this guy, yes, we have a solid left back. Like, he is solid to this day. He scores, he goes up, he defends. He's an engine. He's an engine, and that's what we need in a team, in a player. So when I saw Wiley come up, it's like, cool. He scored that one goal that got his name everywhere, and we were all hyped for him. But then after that, we just saw, of course, because of the team as well, we just saw that descent back into, he's just too young. He's too young to be on the squad. Maybe he needs a little bit more time in ATL United too, all that good stuff. But now with the season, he's been doing great. He's been exploding. And just like how you had mentioned, Ariel, he broke that record. I think not only did he like the fastest. How was it? I think it was a record behind Alphonso Davies. I can't remember what it is exactly, but yeah, he's already got his name stamped in MLS, and it's all good. But it's like, can we expect more? Because the more you hype a player up, it's either two things: he either deflates and drops down in terms of level, or that hype just amps him up even more, and we see another beast, another monster come out of Wiley. So hopefully, and from what we have seen, it looks like we're getting more instead of less from Wiley.
Yeah,
and then
more with Wiley. I feel like same with Araujo. They've been defending like excellent. Like, they did not drop back, the wingers, at least last year. They didn't drop back as much as they have seen, and their press has been fantastic. Wiley's been winning the ball back. I feel like, I mean, if needed, you can swat Wiley to left back and he'll do a fine job. He didn't do so last year, but I feel like, the more time he gets, even if it's at left wing, I think he could go right back there. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that our wingers are pressing and covering and sitting in the defense more than I ever expected. And it's been a huge help.
Wiley, he even got called up to the what was it, the U 20, right, for the U.S. men's national team, or obviously the U 20s, and apparently Atlanta United, kind of told him just basically no, we're not gonna. I mean, and it's I think in my opinion, it's a smart move. You don't want to risk a player that's in good form. I mean, he's still obviously really young. You don't want him to, quote unquote, I feel like, put more pressure on him than he already has, because one thing is, you're 18 years old and you're already starting for, the team or the city's team where you technically grew up your entire life. I mean, they keep on saying that, some of the announcers, this guy has been on the team more time than anybody else on the field. He's been, I mean, from the academy, or in the academy, since I think he was 12 years old.
Mm.
So it's he's really, I don't want to say already pressure, the fact that he's young, that he's in a team where he has guys that he's playing, guys, like Miles Robinson, starting center back for the U.S. men's national team. You have Georgios Giacomakis, which we haven't even mentioned about him. Nothing. I mean, he got called up with the Greece national team. Derek Etienne got called up to the Jamaican national team. Ronald Hernandez with Venezuela. I mean, all these guys, Thiago Almada getting called up with, Argentina, which they're about to blow the house down in Argentina, celebrating that World Cup. I felt bad for Panama, man, honestly. But it is what it is, man. But yeah, with Wiley, I mean, you obviously don't want to keep on putting more pressure, or
Right.
you have to go and represent the U.S. men's national team now, and it's smart. It was a smart move from the front office, honestly, to just kind of hold them back a little bit.
All right. So, boys, I got to ask here, and then we got to talk about him, Almada.
Mm.
Come on now. Is he our Messi or is he not our Messi?
Oh, yeah.
He's
Of
given,
course, man.
He's given, I'm pretty sure you guys can agree, he's giving you Almiron vibes. Tell me he is not.
And more.
And more. Exactly.
Yeah,
And more.
yeah.
He's giving me Almiron vibes. And I'm not going to lie to you. I know that we barely saw Gigi score his first goal. I will say I saw him in the previous game where he's hungry, man. I love that Gigi is coming into our team and he wants to score. That number 7, it has weight on it due to Martinez. But regardless, I think he's coming in with a fresh mind, fresh mentality. He wants to score, and we saw the hunger. And guess what? He's got his goal. Now, can we do more? And of course, revolving. We got Wiley, we got Arujo, now we got Gigi. Almada is our man from what I've seen, and I pray that 1, this man does not get injured, and 2, this man can be the next coming of Almiron, which is what everyone always talks about all the time. We don't have that Cam that we've already want, like since him, but I feel like Almada is that guy, not because he's a World Cup winner, but truly because he is quality in our team and of course in this league. So
yeah, I haven't seen a player in MLS that could control the game like Almada in the attacking end. I mean, what Almiron could do is run into space and just absolutely kill you. What Almada could do is break you down in the middle, and it's special.
Not just, man. I think overall, if you look at Almada, this guy is like a complete player. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, he's an all-around player. The guy can score free kicks. I mean, you've seen that already this season.
Oh yeah,
that curler that he hit this past weekend, dude, that was nuts. It was
ridiculous,
insane, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The one that he scored the first game of the season against San Jose.
Oh, in the last minutes.
Yes. The goal outside of the box that he scored as well, that same game against San Jose. The guy has obviously a tremendous foot, to put a curler in the. He's able to dribble through players. He has the vision to put a pass, through 2 of an entire defense basically.
Yep.
I mean, what can you ask? What else can you ask for a player to do? Honestly, offensively.
Oh man, he's just like I mentioned, he's our second coming, and I'm so here for it, man. I'm so here for it.
Our biggest thing has to, or for Garth, obviously, Garth Lagerwood has to be keeping him what obviously, and some news came out today that Felipe Cardenas tweeted out apparently that he was asking Thiago whether he had gotten any offers from Europe yet, and I mean he said that there wasn't nothing yet. Trust me, if this guy keeps balling out the way that he's doing right now, he's gonna get those offers by summertime. He will. There's gonna be teams that are gonna be knocking on the door, whether it's from top tier teams, which obviously he was already linked with teams like Barcelona, Manchester City, Manchester United as well. So the guy, obviously, we know that he's and I didn't want to hit this point, and it was oh
Let's
man,
go.
Do it.
yeah,
Let's go.
fuck Nick Raimondo, bro. Fuck Nick Raimondo.
You've been on him all week, bro.
Yeah, because it's crazy that I get it. Look, man, the goalie probably did have some, I guess, mistake in it, because if you actually look at the replay, man, I should have pulled up a video of that goal. But if you look at it right before Almada kicks the ball, or right after he kicks the ball, the goalie takes a step, to his right.
He's beaten.
But even though he took that step to the right, with the effect that the ball had, he wasn't gonna get to it. Even if he stood his ground there and still dove, he wasn't gonna get to it, man. Like, man, this guy's talking about his mom was gonna save it. Man, get the man. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous, honestly. But with Almada, I mean, he's got to be one of the more talented players and that we've seen, honestly, come into MLS. He could have easily had a hat trick. There was a play where in the second half, like late in the second half, like actually was the play before he scored his second goal, where they crossed it back to him, and like he just blew it, like he hit a field goal basically. And then right after, I mean, even the Spanish commentators, because I switched to the Spanish commentator, and they were talking about like it was rare for them to see something like that from a guy that has so much quality, given the fact that he had basically a perfect game. And then he comes and next play, gets the ball, defender on his back, turns around and just shoots it right past the defender.
Mm-hmm.
They're
a minute later, a minute after skying it, like ridiculous.
Yeah. But I mean, you just look at that and that not discredit to any history, from Almiron here, or because him and along, many other players gave us an MLS Cup. But this guy is different gravy, man. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's refreshing to see this, because I know that we've been yearning a player like him, and now that it's finally here, we're seeing the results of a player like him. Aside, and not to give Almada all the credit, let's, we have, the additions of Purata, because I know we haven't seen Purata with Miles in the back, and seeing those two together in the back due to, Miles being injured last year, seeing those two in the back is just, mashed potatoes with gravy. You know what I mean? It's perfect. Like you got the player who can head in, anything in. And you got Miles Robinson, who's pretty much kind of the similar player too, of course. But regardless, two strong CBs, and of course our wing backs or right back, left back. I think they're quality. I got appreciation for Lennon. I got mad love for Goodman. I love Goodman. So It's just great. The kid is magic. Yes.
What's up, Tyler?
Yeah,
Tyler on here.
Magisterial.
Yeah, and you mentioned in that with the with the fullbacks. I mean, yeah, Brooks Lennon, I think in my opinion, he's been honestly as well, and just been so smarter. When it comes to the decisions that he makes, he's not crossing into no man's land, which I think the first season of the game we kind of saw somewhat of what we saw last year. And obviously we, Doug kind of like even asked that, and we had Guzan, coming out and saying that, and that just leave that in the past, man. And obviously kind of right, but it's still
he was right, but it was a valid question. But
yeah, but I mean, it's still first game of the season and everything, and you just want things to obviously get better. And Brooks Lennon, I think him, obviously Araujo, like I mentioned, Franco Ibarra. I think, man, if these guys can just keep that hunger, and I think we kind of saw it, towards the end. They just wanted to keep like pushing it and want more goals. And I was even thinking that I was watching my girl the game with my girlfriend. I was like, man, they got to keep on racking these goals up, man. Like this is the type of games where you have because goals can make a huge difference. Like especially in this sort of tournament, like MLS.
Yeah.
Uh, it's still early on the season. You're I mean, second place in supporter shield right behind St. Louis. Surprisingly has won all games, St. Louis, but we're first, in the Eastern Conference, and I think this could be the year that Atlanta United can make that leap to actually being that elite team again. Philly, is somewhat, they choked against Montreal this past weekend.
I don't get
But
Philly.
I
I don't get.
think in terms of the East or the Eastern Conference, the only team that could actually be up there, the challenge could be the Red Bulls possibly,
Yeah.
or the Revolution.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't feel like you're looking. You're like, let's wait until a team comes at us. I don't see that many teams in the league even coming at us in terms of like dominating shots, possession, all of that, and making our guys uncomfortable. I just don't see that in like every team besides maybe Philadelphia. And we play LAFC in like July. We'll save that for later, but um, I don't think teams are just gonna run at you. And that's what people. Oh, wait till we have a test. The test is whether you make a mistake and get broken down on yourself. It's the other team is only going to kill you through those long shots, through those crosses. It's when you kill yourself that's when it's gonna that's when it's really gonna hurt. But you know, I don't see Columbus. The next couple games, teams aren't gonna run at us. It's just what's gonna happen. And yeah, I mean, why not score 5 goals? I don't
Yeah.
care what the score is. In Charlotte, they kind of let me down. They kind of stopped. But this game, while you're at home, you're not going to want to stop. You want to keep hearing the crowd roar. And why stop scoring? Especially when Portland, one, sucks, two, isn't going for it at all. You might as well keep going.
Yeah, I think it's good. By the way, I've just noticed I have Portland colors on. I guess I just feel bad for them. But
Oh, is that green? Oh, it
yeah,
is.
it's green and yeah.
Yeah,
I really thought it
But
was black.
yeah,
yeah,
me
it's
too.
green.
I
Um,
have green, so you know.
yeah. I was gonna mention in regards to this last game. So like a 5-1 aggregate is is destructive to a team's morale. Let's
Mm-hmm.
in terms of Portland, and of course, other teams are watching this. It's not like we're just focusing on a game. They're seeing who the next opponent is. Who did Atlanta play? Portland. Boom, they beat them 5-1. So not only do we have the Almada hype going on in MLS, I'm pretty sure all the teams are aware of what's going on, right? Almada won the World Cup. Of course, he's in our team. They're scared of a player like him. They fear getting scored on the way Portland's. So we're coming into these games with teams that are going to fear us because of the results we have. So, I know we're 4 games in. We've won 3. We've tied 1. Toronto has always been our Achilles heel. I've always said it. But anyways, moving forward.
Yeah.
These next games, in what James said, we're going into Columbus. I don't think we're going to have a negative result. I think we're going to come in here and I think we're going to squash them. Don't get me wrong, Columbus is a solid squad, a solid club, but I don't think like the test, kind of what jumping on what James said, the real test is, let's say we're down 2-0. That's the real test. Are we going to be that team that comes back and wins it 3-2, 4-2, etc., or are we just going to give in and take the L? That's the real test. That's what's really going to come at us per se. So I just wanted to kind of jump on that because James made a good point.
Yeah.
So given the fact, and this is something that we got to hit. With the depth of the squad, obviously you don't have Almada, you don't have, and we mentioned this, all these guys, Yakamakis, Almada, Ronald Hernandez, Miles Robinson, Derek Etienne. You have all these guys that are going to be gone. The you, the guys that are going to be on the bench, I don't know if they're just going to be guys from the twos, or obviously
They
it would
play.
have to be, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with the crew, obviously they also have players like Asalarayan missing. They have Cucho, who's out with injury.
Hmm.
I don't think that, with the crew being the team that they are, for some reason, the past couple of years, I think that we have actually played really, really good against Columbus Crew at their stadium. But overall, man, I think that, the even if we lose this game, it's not like we're losing against a Charlotte team. It's not like we're losing against an Orlando, Orlando are technically good, somewhat good now.
Yeah.
But you're not losing against a Vancouver. Their Columbus is technically a good, relatively good team, if you could say, in the Eastern
Yeah.
Conference.
Yeah.
Um. So, hold up.
Columbus is missing what? They're missing starting goalkeeper, starting center back, starting number 10, starting striker. And Atlanta has, without their starting center back, starting 10, starting striker, I think.
So
So it's in our favor for sure.
now going into the next point real quick. Sorry, John, to cut you off real
No.
quick.
You're good. You're good. You're good. No worries.
Just, how much does Gonzalo Pineda have to do, in the function that just you guys see in the team? Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I said, I definitely didn't see just how. I just didn't see the team playing this good early on the season. Uh, how much credit does he deserve? In these wins.
All right. So I'm glad that this topic is up. So here is where I think I will give Pineda his credit. I think I will give his credit with this particular game because we're down some of our star players. We're down our 10, we're down our striker. GG is going to Greece, right? He's playing for that's
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're down a center back. So this is where Pineda really needs to step up. And now that we don't have, some of our key players, this is where he needs to come in as a tactician and try to get the victory early on into the game. That way he can bring on his subs and we can just defend for the rest. I know that nobody likes football where it's like, okay, cool, you scored two, awesome, park the bus. Nobody likes that. But guess what? It gets results. So this is where Pineda needs to really find what he needs to do, plan out what he needs to do, make sure that the players that need to play, that need to score in order to that way defend the result and we keep it going because obviously we're down our key players. So we have to be in this type of not frantic atmosphere, but more so we have to be on this focused mentality where we need to put in the goals because obviously the quality of the team is not up to par to what it was the previous week. So again, it comes down to let's finalize our chances. Let's get the ball into the net, and then let's just defend the aggregate, whether it's 1, 2, 3, etc. So this is where Pineda needs to show. Now, if Pineda can get a victory, he deserves his credit. Absolutely. This is a different Pineda from last year. Absolutely.
Yeah. He deserves a coach of the week at least, even though that award means nothing. But
Straight up. Yep.
Yeah. Basically what you said, you should be rolling in here, even though you have, your center back who's like 18, 19 playing center back. It doesn't matter. You should be going for points here easily.
And
because you can keep pushing off that momentum no matter what. Because you're still gonna have eight guys that played in that game last week, maybe 9, including the subs. I think you're chilling.
you know who's gonna be key? I think players like Araujo and Wiley, just because they've been playing so well lately. and I think we're gonna see player. I think is Tyler Wolf back from injury, or is he?
I don't think he'll be
He
able to
let me
go.
let me see. I'm checking right now. I
That's just
don't
me.
see any updates about an injury. He
And
was he was subbed in. He was
And
a sub in the
the
last
big
game.
player, or like the big question. I mean, so far that or in the center of the field is once Rosetto comes back, you already have Sosa, back from injury. He's been, slowly getting back into the team, but I
Mhm.
mean, what do you do? I mean, the guys that you have there so far is, oh, Tyler saying that, yeah, he's back. He's training with the team
I,
already.
I
So,
wouldn't throw Wolf at number 10 though for his first game of the
Yeah.
season. I wouldn't throw it. I don't. It's tough. I think that's one of the burning questions too. Is who's gonna play number 10? Because
I mean, Araujo, technically, he's our number 10.
yeah, but
Who
in the
would be?
middle. I mean,
Yeah.
the guess is Amar Sadic currently, but that's a tough one. Because I mean, I just looked Almada. The big chances stats. He created 3 of 4 big chances we had the whole game, and it's like I don't know if you could get an Amar guy to do that. I don't know if you play a 3-back. I don't know what you do. You play like Arujo at striker. You do whatever. I don't.
Or play Sosa at the 10, man.
It, it just again it just goes back to what we talked about is Pineda. What does Pineda do in this situation? And that's what we want to see. So this is where again, like this is where he's gonna get his credit or not. It's okay, great. We have a competent trainer, manager, uh, that can, or excuse me, coach that can get us the result. So the what we're talking about now, Pineda needs to figure that out. And if
Yeah.
Pineda can get a result from that, again, that's when I say, man,
hmm
he deserves this credit.
Well, all right. Here we go. I'm gonna time that. What? 37 minutes 45 seconds. I think this is a team where if you win this Columbus game, even though you don't really like pressing away, you have to press and you have to somehow get yourself into a break because it's hard to build up and score a goal with this team. I think that's going to be difficult. I think you should rely, just like you kind of did at Charlotte, just pressing the crap out of them, especially when they don't have their best players either. Just run at them, just go for it.
And I think that's one of the biggest changes that we've seen so far,
hmm
possession ball. That hasn't, been the big factor like it was last year, where we were leading the league in, possession. I mean, that may be the case to a certain degree, when you're playing at home, but
hmm
uh I think what against Charlotte Charlotte had somewhat a little bit more possession than Atlanta United. And
Yeah.
even when sometimes we played at home away from home last year, that was the case, where we just try
hmm
to keep the ball, just try to be passive with it. I mean, let the other team have it, and I mean, you have players that are talented enough. Well, probably not this upcoming game, but overall, you have a squad that can just make a difference. From Franco Barwin or Rossetto or Sosa, whoever the case may be, winning the ball back and, in transition, that's when, that you can make that big difference. You have players that, I mean, you could see that with players like Wiley, they have that speed to get forward. Araujo is another one. The only one that I mean, and this just being me,
hmm
critiquing. Yakamarcus he's an area guy, man. Like he's not the player to, that he's gonna run in space or is
He tried.
yeah, he tries, and I mean he's just not, he doesn't have that pace. He's
Mhm.
not, but when he's in the area, man, and you kind of saw it with the goals that, I mean, he had a couple offside goals there, and I mean, guy could have easily had 2, 3 goals, but I mean, it's just a matter of a little timing, that it's off. And obviously, it's still early on the season, so I mean, if everything starts clicking, you could definitely see a different Atlanta United towards middle end of the season.
Yeah, and back to like what Tyler's saying about Columbus. So Atlanta's first in possession, Columbus is
Mm.
second right now, and Columbus is gonna dominate the ball. That's what Nancy does. I remember Montreal versus NYCFC in the playoffs last year. Montreal had the ball the whole game. They created so many more chances, but they lost 3-1 because New York just made them nervous. Turnover, goal on the press. I think that's pretty simple. That's the formula. And they're not going to have the quality of players like Ryan to maybe effectively have possession as much as they want. And that's where you could take advantage for sure. And I don't think Nancy's as great as people think he is as a manager. I mean, this Columbus team has 4 points through their first 4 this season. I don't really like what I've seen at all. But yeah, you just got to sprint at him. But it's going to be tough without your main man.
You think that somewhat has to do with Cucho not, being involved in the picture, as much early on the season? Because I mean, he was the one, or kind of like that factor, that made a big difference in their attack last year after he came in the summertime.
Yeah, he killed us. Well, he scored a goal. I remember that.
He scored 2, didn't he? I thought he scored the 2.
Did he score 2 in that game? He might have, actually.
I think he did.
And we don't talk about that game. That game was a bad game. And I wonder what's the weather, because it's always a rain.
I think Tommy mentioned something on Spaces last week that he
Tommy
did check that it was gonna be a rainy one up there.
No way.
I would not be surprised, honestly, if it's a stupid rain delay and game starts at 9:30, 10.
Okay, it's thunderstorms, but they stop at like 1.
That game.
They stop at like 1 p.m. It should be all right.
Something crazy always happens in Ohio. I mean, I know you've seen those memes.
Yeah,
that's a new trend.
Yeah, especially up north in Ohio, man. It's crazy up there. But
all right, guys. So whenever it comes down to Columbus Crew, just predictions. What do you guys think is a realistic scenario that Atlanta United could walk out of here with? Personally, I'm gonna be optimistic, man. I'm gonna say we walk out of there with a 2-1.
Okay.
Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
You know what? I'll go with second home game. Let's go with 3-0 Atlanta. Away from home.
Damn.
I don't know.
Very
every single week they keep going more than what I think. So we'll go 3-0. Maybe 3-1, but I'll stick with 3-0. I like it.
I'm gonna go with a slight bit of pessimism.
Let's do it.
1-0.
Okay.
1-0. We got this. I think with Wiley and Araujo, with the momentum that they have right now, of course missing our number 10, but with Araujo and Wiley and the momentum they have, I think we're able to get at least 1 goal in and just defend it. I think that's where I'm at right now. I don't think we're gonna lose this game. I think at best, or should I say, the most we can get negatively is a tie. But I think we can win this game. I believe so.
I agree. It's definitely doable.
It is.
2-0 for Tyler. I think, Tyler, you should go with 4-0 on your show tomorrow. I think that's the strat. Because they keep exceeding. They keep exceeding, man. Yeah. And this Columbus team sucks.
Man, I really hope it's a 3-0, James. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The Atlanta team is all right, and the Columbus team sucks. That's what I'm seeing.
Hey, but we do epic shit though. Hold on, let me hold it this way. Yeah.
Damn. Well, it should be a good one, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think I might do like a watch along or something. I don't know, because this is my first game where I'm gonna be watching it. I've been to every single game so far this season, so it's nice. It's gonna be interesting.
I like I was telling Ariel, I'm gonna be there for the Miami game. I gotta be there. I gotta see Joseph dressed in pink, and so I won't boo him. I'm not gonna boo him, but just to feel it, just to feel that.
Hey, I'm not gonna start it yet, but he's been not so great down in Miami. But I'm not gonna start it.
This could be another topic, but I'm just gonna put the question out there. Was Joseph the problem? Was Joseph the problem?
Nah, man.
There were so many.
We got plenty of time to hit on that.
There's
man.
A list of problems.
We have plenty of time to hit on that, and that's actually a pretty good topic to hit because, I mean, you move on from guys like Alan Franco, Marcelino Moreno, Joseph Martinez, Dom Dwyer. I mean, it's to a certain degree. I want to say that these guys were good. A relatively short, not Joseph, because he's obviously a club legend. The first 3 years obviously were lights out. In all MLS, and but the other guys, Alan Franco and Marcelino Moreno, I think that they just were stuck in a bad situation overall because Alan Franco, he wasn't even like the first choice center back that they were going after back in 2021. Marcelino Moreno, he got thrown also in a bad situation where he I mean, he came in, just all of a sudden from what Lanús and that Rocco Rios Novo deal as well that he got thrown in there. And it was, after PT Martinez had left like to Saudi Arabia, all of a sudden it was just a bad mixture of, just things happening like really quick, and like all of a sudden that, you just got thrown into like a quick decision, and it was kind of dumb to a certain point, because a lot of fans kind of gave him a lot of BS, and even some guys from the press gave him BS.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Doug. But
Oh man, I remember that.
You obviously, I mean, you look at it, and the guys have quality. They've shown it in other teams. It's just in MLS, and in the certain situation that we were in. I mean, you can only do so much, when it comes to bringing in guys to clubs in MLS, and Joseph Martinez being one of the guys that they brought in. And obviously, once he went through that injury, nothing was the same after, not only for him, but for the club as well. I mean, it's like they somewhat dependent on like him to score goals. And everything was just so focused on him. Like the team was just like so embedded on trying to like create the chances for Joseph Martinez. Like it wasn't really, if you kind of look at it, in 2019 and even early, or before he had that injury in 2020, the team played for Joseph Martinez.
Mhm.
I mean, you just kind of saw that, the chances that were being created and everything, or like, he was even creating his own chances. But I think that's the biggest difference now going into this year, and what we've seen so far is that you see just the chemistry, the just that sort of how can you call it, like that connection that the guys have, to be able to have that movement, the passing that they're having. I think it just seems everything to be much smoother and not like so forced where they're just trying to play the ball to one guy, one certain guy, and just trying to repeat the same thing over and over, basically.
Yeah. I think Moreno would be fantastic if we could get him back after his deal, but we can't. So
Yeah, I was gonna jump on that. Like
bad
right
timing.
now, like Moreno right now would be clutch. Right now, he would fit in perfectly in Almada's spot. Obviously, Almada has come back from this World Cup a different animal, a different breed, and we love it. But Moreno, especially right now, again, Moreno would be that man. So it's like it's a shame. He's the out of all the players that had left, I was definitely a fan of Moreno. I really was. I know he held the ball a little too long, but he made results. And kind of like Arujo, we kind of were, we're being carried by him as well at a certain point in last season.
I mean, it's a loan, so you never
There's
know.
possibilities.
I think he would
Definitely.
be worth bringing back, but I mean, he's getting older. He's not your fast player like Almada was. It's a tough one, but
It is.
So what do you think is the biggest change that we see, this off season, or not the off season, but in this summer window, and obviously in the off season? You guys think that, we go back to that same, go to the young prospect, from South America, or we try to, or Garth basically tries to look around, I guess, quote unquote, a little bit more past, just South America?
I think we have to look here because I think it has to be like U22 if you want to have that max budget thing or max salary, or it has to be like anyone under like 1.5 mil, something like that. I think we go back to the U22 number 10 route. It's definitely not gonna be better than Almada. I don't think that's possible in the next 50 years, but I think that's the route you should keep trusting, and you should keep pushing that route because besides Barco, every time Almiron Almada, it's hit, and it's hit for a big jackpot.
I think yeah, let's focus away from South America for now. Obviously get the quality players that we can, but we keep getting these, kind of like these up and coming South American players, Pity, Barco,
Yeah.
and look at the disappointments we've had.
Mhm.
Barco was quality, but at the end of everything, he was just like, MLS wasn't really for me. Whatever quality is not there, it is what it is. Pity just went to go chase the bag. Hey, full
Respect.
respect. I get it. I
Got
get it.
money too.
Yeah, I get it. Coming from a country as most people think Argentina is wealthy, but in fact they're one of the poorest. But nonetheless, we won't get an Almada for another while. Hopefully, he's loyal to us this season at least.
This
At least
year,
for the full,
please.
yeah, at least for the full year. Like I know summer's gonna come up. A bunch of teams are gonna want him, and I'm hoping and praying that everyone at the club is like, hey, listen, man, listen, you can get your trophy, you get everything, and then in the winter transfer window, you can dip to wherever you want to go. Like, let's just win
Like,
the championship.
this man can literally, I mean, if we're talking about stat wise and just like everything that he's shown so far, I mean, he could leave out of here being a club legend. And I mean, you could say all you want. I mean, but if he somehow stays all season and is able to, lift MLS Cup, the guy is a club legend.
Oh boy.
All like nothing else to say. I mean, the guy has to be up there.
Absolutely.
He already is.
He's leading
I
the
feel
league
like.
in goals, leading leading the league in assists, key passes. I mean,
The sky's the limit.
it's a phenom. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, like we've everybody knows this, and by the time that summertime comes, this guy's gonna have offers from Europe. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just no other way around it,
There isn't.
unless something crazy happens. But even so, you still have to, try somewhere or another to make it happen where he stays all season. It's just you're not gonna be able to find a replacement. And even if they already been looking, after this off season, which they would kind of predict that eventually he will be getting, offers from abroad or whatever, then you're not just gonna find some sudden replacement. I mean, look how long it actually took for quote unquote Almiron replacement to come in. It was what 20 we had 2019, 2020, 2021 or yeah, 2021 where we didn't have any like actual guys that made a difference on the ball when it was, when it came down to the number 10 position. But I don't think that you're just gonna find that, in the next transfer window. Like James said it, I mean, literally, it could take years for you to actually find somebody that could be relatively, or it could relatively have the same quality as Almada.
And what makes it hard in this league is that you're stuck here. You have to get a U22, and you're not gonna have a long-term commitment with a U22 player, especially one with quality. And that's where it's just like terrible. But you just gotta keep looking, gotta keep trying.
Well, guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys have anything else, that we haven't mentioned, but I mean, the points that we were gonna hit, I mean, we've pretty much hit them all. So
yeah, Milan or Napoli? That's the next question.
Oh, you don't hit John right in the heart just
Yeah.
now.
Hey, everyone's got a chance, man. Oh, he's on mute.
Yeah, I think you're on mute, dude.
Yeah. He doesn't even want to speak about it. No.
You're still muted,
No.
dude. I don't know why.
We lost him.
Yo, we still can't hear you for nothing. That's weird. Milan or Napoli?
What do you think?
Actually, a pretty good game.
Oh,
Yeah, we hear you now.
a little bit. A little bit.
All right. So, listen, I don't want to stay on this all night, but
Yeah.
I think right now with Milan's form, it's just not good right now. We are in a decline. We want to stay top 4 to make Champions League. We're so excited about Champions League. And the crazy part is we played Napoli 3 times in 16 days.
I saw that. Yeah.
So it's like, I personally think we will not win a single game. If any game, if we do win any game, or at least tie, it would be the second leg of the Champions League game. I don't think we're gonna beat them in Serie A. I don't think we're gonna beat them in Champions League, the first leg. I mean, Napoli is just undeniable this year.
They're ridiculous.
They're ridiculous. They have Kvaratskhelia. I know you have seen him. Kvaradona is what they call him. Osimhen is doing amazing. That whole squad is doing amazing. And it's crazy because, back to MLS, you got Insigne in Toronto, which was like their holy grail, right? Insigne's over here. Who else came? Who else left that squad?
Koulibaly, I think, left too as well.
Koulibaly left. And another player, I can't. Mertens left.
Yeah.
They've lost key players, and look at them this season. It's insane. It's crazy. But it's kind of like
they rebuilt pretty well. Like their squad,
they did. They did.
Real quick, what's the issue with Milan this year?
Real quick,
yes.
Milan right now are going through, I think, two things. I think two things are affecting the squad. One is Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao's confidence has dropped immensely. Like, this is not the same Leao we had the past 2 years. Like last year, he was a phenom.
Unreal.
MVP, right? But his confidence has dropped tremendously. He hasn't scored, I believe, since I heard something about since September, something like that. But it's definitely been several games for sure.
Yeah.
Another thing is Pioli, the coach, right now, I think he's at a point where he doesn't know what to do. I think he's hit a stump finally. He's changed the formation. It's worked, but then it just kind of goes back to what it does, and it's become ineffective. So I think at this point right now is two things. I think the club needs to invest, like indefinitely invest. We got Champions League money. There's no excuse now. Like if we somehow miraculously pass Napoli, there is no excuse to not invest into the club. And then secondly, is really just revamp our players and just get them back to that mentality. So I think losing right now is actually good for them, because next year it'll get them more hungry. Last year in Champions League, we lost in the group stages. We got out. This year, we are in quarterfinals. Imagine what next year can bring if we have, let's say, a better coach, better players, and the sky's the limit at that point. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah,
but you don't think that it's just a matter of Milan just like putting all the eggs in the basket, into the Champions League, given the fact that they just came back to it, after so many years, and are getting to that, those farther stages now.
I think from what I've seen is a lot of fans believe that that's exactly what they're doing. They're putting all their eggs into this basket, which, let's keep it real, Milan is not the team to beat Man City. It's not the team to beat Bayern Munich. It's not the team. It may give a challenge to Real Madrid, but I highly doubt it. We are a team that challenges Napoli. We are a team that may challenge Benfica. And I think a team that would definitely beat us fair and square would be Chelsea. But everything up that I mentioned, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, those teams, Man City, those teams can undeniably destroy us, because right now, again, we're on a decline. We have no structure right now. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. So that's why I'm jumping on Atlanta United. That's the only red and black team that doesn't let me down so far.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Well, they got the league last year. That's good.
Yeah, we got the league. So I mean, it got us something. It got something out of it. So
That's definitely the round I'm watching the most too. That very interesting. And what they play this weekend too, right? So
yeah.
good stuff.
Napoli or Serie A?
Napoli, Milan. They play
Oh
each
no,
other.
no, no. 2
No?
weeks international break.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Now I have to watch nothing.
Yeah. Watch
Only
USA.
MLS, and there's only one game on at 7:30. The rest of the games can't even watch them. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But,
okay. Almada will get 2 appearances. Right, I'll watch that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the
We'll
US, I
definitely watch.
guess.
Yeah. Ooh, I guess we'll watch it. And then me and Ariel, we'll watch when Honduras play El Salvador.
Oh yeah, they're playing what in Cali, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Oh yeah, it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tomorrow?
God. Yeah, Honduras plays El Salvador. We'll see it. We'll see. That's the classic. That's what started the war.
That's our Real Madrid and Barcelona for Central America.
But I do gotta go, guys. So thank you guys for bringing me on here.
We hit the
Thank
hour.
you guys. We hit the hour.
Don't forget, you can follow, John and his channel on YouTube, Apartment 85. James, you can follow him at ATL UTD James on Twitter.
Sir.
Don't forget, Fila Sports Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, Resurge Spike ATL on Twitter. And thank you guys, for the ones that were on here commenting. And yep. Let me go ahead and end this thing.